Laptop, desktop, or tablet at KFMA.com.
You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Tuesday, January 26th. Good morning, Todd Marlie.
Good morning, Beef Vegan.
And good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's a Tuesday, so we'll have Shane from Tucson Foodie in on the podcast broadcast later on. I got tickets to give away for a concert I announced yesterday. That's Beck. Beck is coming to Phoenix, Arizona, and I'll have tickets to give away for that concert at 8:10. Giovanni and the Hired Guns is going to be tickets that I'm giving away. Your Tucson Roadrunners for Star Wars nights and more. That's your listener base. But first, I don't know how I feel about people who are home displaced working the door at gas stations, right? Like a homeless guy's working at it. I know, look, Todd's giving me a weird look right off the bat. You live in Marana. You don't understand.
Okay, you got me.
Yeah, you don't understand what I have to deal with here.
I feel seen.
And many Tucsonans here, especially Midtown or East Side, it's everywhere. They've probably been in a situation, but I was in a situation yesterday where I go to the gas station, my local neighborhood gas station, and there's a man standing right there by the door. Now, you know, gas stations are double doors, but this particular gas station, and you guys know the chain, but I can't say it out loud, had one door broken as usual with like a trash can in front of it. So there was only a single door that can be opened or closed. And this homeless guy is standing in front acting like a makeshift doorman. Right. So immediately I'm like, all right, whatever. Not ideal because it's not necessarily a job that needs to be done. Usually when I pop in and out of a gas station, I could open my own door. Thank you very much. But anyways, he opens a door. I say, thank you. I walk in. And while I'm standing in line, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, do I have any money on him that I can give? The guy did open the door for me. You know, you want to give somebody
At least
a
he's
tip.
trying. He's trying to do a service.
That's the argument, right? At least he is trying to work, right? So I'm like, okay. I check my pockets and I'm like, okay, I have $1. Oh, I'm going to give this guy $1. So I made up my mind. I'm standing in line, I'm waiting, and I'm like, I got the $1 in my hand, ready to pass it to him before I leave. And while I'm standing in line, watching and waiting, the guy opens up the door for a couple more people. But then a black person walks up, and then the guy just walks away from the door.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. And I was like, wait.
That's another potential customer there, my guy.
Yeah. And I'm like, was this timing? And now I'm conflicted, right? Because I'm like, is he racist? Am I about to tip a racist doorman?
You can't tip a racist doorman.
That's what I'm saying, right? So now I'm standing there and I'm like, what? This is weird. Maybe it's just the timing. Maybe he's just done opening the door for people. And so I'm like having this debate in my head, very confused as to why he would just walk away when one individual came up to the door and nobody else. And then he immediately went back into position and started opening up the door again. And I'm conflicted about giving a racist $1.
That's real racist. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I get what I'm going to get at the gas station, and I already have the $1 in my hand, and I'm just like, F it, maybe for the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to assume he's not racist, right? And just
bold play, Cotton.
I don't know. And it would be rude it was rude not to open the door for the one black person, but open the door for everybody else. I mean, that was just insane. I couldn't even believe what I was watching.
That's a shocker.
Yeah. So then I just decided to give this guy $1. So I'm walking out the gas station. He opens the door for me again, and I slip him $1. I'm like, here you go. Thank you. And
should have asked him, should have quizzed him right there. Excuse me, are you racist?
No, I didn't want to have a conversation with him. No. It's definitely,
I got $1 for you.
Again, you got to be outside of Miranda. You don't want to start a conversation because you'll never end a conversation.
Sorry, scene.
It's not good. And so then I hand this guy $1, and he immediately looks down at the $1 and kind of gives me a look like, that it? And now I'm through the roof. I'm livid. I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. You should spread the word to every potential other home displaced doorman that never again
Never again.
Never again am
Never
I going to
again.
give $1 because I'm not going to assume. Now I'm going to assume all of you are ungrateful racists. As simple as that. Now you're an not only you are a grateful racist, but everybody else who is disheveled and just opening and shutting doors when they're not asked to, and nobody wants them to. Now I'm just going to be like, nope, you're
Maybe
an
you
ungrateful
didn't-
racist.
maybe
You don't get a
didn't
penny.
know. Like you would actually found a fallen like Michael Jordan of door opening there, and you just
He wasn't that good.
oh, wasn't that good?
No. I almost hit my the door almost hit my ass on the way out. It was not good.
No, okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's not even worth a tip anyway.
But he didn't get hired anyway, so it's not like they trained him properly. But still, at the end of the day, I don't know how I feel about this. Now, on one side of the argument, it's like, hey, at least he's not just standing on the corner begging for change. But on the other side of the argument, it would actually be better if he was, because now it's getting into a situation where you feel obligated. And that's not right. And this is just a bad look, not only for the business, but everyone involved. And then it turns out there's major character flaws that that you don't necessarily agree with at
a lot
all.
of questions with this person.
100%.
Too many red flags, frankly.
To make a long story short, I was way too high for the gas station yesterday. All right. So we're going to get the show moving. We got your morning more coming up after Falling in Reverse. Keep it right here. It's Tucson's Rock Station, Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know the name of the show. Let's go.
If vegan loved anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So welcome back to the podcast broadcast. We got about 15 seconds before we do a live tease. And we're getting into everything. So as you know, Todd's here, and Shane. Good morning, Shane.
Good morning.
All right. So we got 7 seconds. Keep those comments coming. I'm seeing them there. And we're getting ready to go. It's going to be good. All right, it's Tuesday, so we're going to talk a ton of food, and I have food news. I have Tucson Foodie news. I got Shane from Tucson Foodie in studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
First and foremost, corrections. I think all day long I've been saying it's January 26th. It's actually January 24th. I don't know why I got that wrong. But I corrected it. And if you join us on the podcast broadcast, which is live right now, youtube.com/beefvegan or @beefvegan on Facebook, you will see the updated corrected date in all of our clips. I promise you that. And coming up next, here's some things that we're going to touch on. First and foremost, what are some of the worst foods that you could eat on a first date? I know that you got a couple ideas in your head, Shane. We're going to go through those. Also, Tucson Foodie as all the kind of updates of new restaurants opening up and other additions, including some food deals. We're just going to go through the website, pick out some of our favorite stories, and talk about that with Shane from TucsonFoodie.com. So all that more coming up on the podcast broadcast. You keep it right here because we got music on the way from the White Stripes and Jelly Roll, or join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. You think I said it enough, Todd?
No,
YouTube.com.
one more. Give one more.
youtube.com/beefvegan. That's a backslash.
Nope.
Beefvegan.
No,
A forward
we're not
slash.
doing-
Son of a bitch.
Poser.
There, all right.
Poser.
Is it a poser? No, we were trying to cover that yesterday.
Did you just say bitch on the air?
I can say bitch on the air, yes.
You
I-
crazy bitch, and you feel so good up on top of me when I.
Yeah, that's
The songs get to say it, so we get to say it.
half of our playlist is bitch. And when I say son of a bitch, and I would say I try not to be derogatory about it, but I've definitely been heated in the moment talking about some kind of like stupid criminal or something like that where I say it. And it's 9:00, so the kids are at school. So
We don't like the kids. They don't get to have any fun.
yeah. I will say this, though. I did have a conversation in my last meeting where they were concerned about my speed breaks because I censor the curse words. And, Mac was like, I don't know. I don't want to get an FCC fine. And I'm like, well, it's not. It's censored. And, well, I know the rules of the FCC. We're not going to get fined. But it does make, say, my GM cringe that we do have these clips that are bleeping. But at the same time, I know which audience they want me to attract, and they want me to attract men 25 to 45, basically, right? And in this day and age, my theory, whether they agree with it or not, but there is a sound reason why the show is kind of like blue and edgy like that, because we live in a day and age where like all of our streaming services are uncensored, right? I'm talking all the Netflix, and I mean, hell, there's even Disney Plus. And on all the music that we're streaming, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify, uncensored, We live in an uncensored world. All these podcasts that are popular that people listen to, they're uncensored. Right. And essentially, I'm not hiding who I am. I'm a person who curses in real life. The only time I'm not cursing is when I'm on the air or at the Roadrunners games. But besides that, in conversation, I curse. So, and we talk about adult things. So it's not a kid show. And that's the end of my rant there. How you doing, Shane?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, great. Thanks.
Yeah. I was watching through highlights of, I was trying to put together highlights from the podcast. And I'm like, I know it's my show, but I'm fucking talking too much. So what has been going on this last weekend? Didn't you go to a soft open this last weekend?
Are you talking about Blue Front?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was Blue Front and what did you do?
Honestly, dude, I didn't get to go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Did you hear about it?
I'm going tomorrow. I'm going today for lunch, but
Okay.
Several of my team's members went last week.
Now, where's Blue Front and what is it all about?
It's on Congress. It's a new concept from Patricia Schwab, who also runs and owns Penka and Owl's Club and that Pearly Baker or whatever it's called, fermentable wine shop. Anyway, and Tooley's. So she's like, she's kind of
A big deal in town.
4 for 4 in terms of successful restaurant concepts, but it's right on Congress next to, or in the old 1055 spot.
Oh, yes. You were talking about that. And
Right.
I did get an invite, and unfortunately I couldn't make it because it's working. But
Good. Yeah, we got you on the invite list, buddy.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
Well,
I
you
see
didn't
how it
show
is.
up either. You were on the fucking list too. Let's just point that out. So we were both on that list. But
Yeah, I
yes.
gave you my spot, okay? Because I had to do something I could not do.
I'm sorry. I had to entertain the masses for a Harry Potter night for Tucson Roadrunners.
Well,
But
that's where I was. Just kidding.
but that 1055 spot, if you guys haven't checked it out, it's prime location right there on Congress with a great patio and scenery, and it's wide open. So when it's a nice day out, they could open up the wall and so it's essentially just one big outdoor bar.
And it's comfort
Restaurant.
food.
It is comfort food. So what's some of the stuff on the menu?
Oh, like cheeseburgers and milkshakes and fries. I think
Wow.
there's spaghetti and meatballs on there,
I'm glad that she is the proprietor in this location because this location has proven to be a very difficult location to keep open based off cost. And of course, COVID didn't help.
Yeah, plus she owns the building. So
Oh,
that's
Oh,
gonna,
well, that probably
come
helps.
that's
on.
going to help a lot with her margin. So I expect them to be successful.
Yeah, and be around for quite some time. Okay.
Makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah. So what has been popping up on Tucson Foodie that you stoked about lately? Some of those recent things. I know you read through it.
Well, I do sometimes. Well, we just put out our guide to 4th Avenue, which was scary outdated. In fact, guy Max Wingert, who grew up here, moved back to town, put it together for us. He's bartender down at Snake and Barrel.
Okay, yeah.
Helped him open. Awesome guy. Also does local stand up. But he just put this back together for us.
Nice.
And 4th Avenue is an important part of our.
It's huge.
Thing.
And Cosmos where you kind of like 4th Avenue previous an iconic part of this town, and it's not even for the college kids really. I mean, Congress is more college centric. 4th Avenue is such a
cultural melting pot.
It is. It doesn't matter what your age group is. You can go to any one of those places with the on 4th and be around someone in your age group and intermix and have a good time. Oh, I say O'Malley's, which is still a great place, but that's more like a college watering hole in my mind. I know that the young kids that I work with at the Roadrunners games, they go there every single time and they invite me out, and I'm like, I don't want to be that guy.
There's a lot of new stuff on 4th. You should check this guide out.
Yeah.
There's stuff I found out about when reading this guide.
Well, we're going to break it down next, and I definitely want to talk about that, and then we'll talk about the first date faux pas foods to not order as well. All right, let's see. Jeff has a question for me. Going back to my government name, but he said, did you hear that Screamin' Dean passed? Yes, I did. We actually did we honored him on the air. I gave him a shout out. I screamed, and let my feelings be known. Screamin' Dean was a streamer, one of the original streamers, and I called him Screamin' Dean because he only works. And unfortunately, he had some health issues that we didn't know about, and they rapidly caught up with him, and he passed away. And it was very sad. And his first streamer that passed, and hopefully the last. But yeah, sorry that you heard about that.
So easy.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, I screamed on the air. I did it on the stream, and then I got on the air, and then no one on the FM side really knows who Screaming Dean is. It's strictly a streamer thing. And I screamed a memorial for Screaming Dean. So yes. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents here with Tucson Foodies, TucsonFoodie.com, Shane, as we're going to be breaking down one of the articles that was just published here on the website. And it's a fantastic revisit of 4th Avenue, because I think a lot of people forget that, 4th Avenue is always kind of reinventing itself. And there's been a bunch of stuff on this list that people didn't even know about. There's the staples that we want to give shout out for, like 4th Avenue Delicatessen. I love them. I know the owner listens to the show as well. Shout out to her. And they have an excellent vegan menu. So my daughter, who's currently vegan, and she's not going to stay that way.
No,
I don't think so.
If you have your way, I guess not.
Yeah, no, it's too expensive, man.
I'm vegan.
Are you vegan,
And
really?
I'm totally offended by what you just said. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
It's all
you're not
good.
vegan. I've seen you.
I
eat
watched you eat chicken pizza.
Well, I break the rules, I guess, which means I'm not vegan. But I'm more offended because you need to let your daughter be her.
I'm letting her be
Come
it.
on.
Shane, I'm letting her be it. I'm also a
Manipulating
realist.
and influencing.
No,
Okay.
I'm a realist, and if anything, I influenced her to be vegan her entire life, because I've been beef vegan her entire life, and she's
Natural
vegan.
rebellion.
Yeah, and it is a natural rebellion, but that's all she's doing right now. She's a teenager, but
good
she's
for
an
her.
adult. Yeah, whatever. Good for her. Terrible for my bank account, but
What?
I will say,
Vegetables are cheaper than meat.
no,
What are you
it's
talking
it's
about?
not just vegetables; it's all the other.
No, vegetables are cheaper than meat as a raw source, but making vegetables taste good and taste better than meat, that's the expensive part.
Yeah.
Okay,
And trying to
okay.
get vegan outside of places like 4th Avenue Delicatessen, who have a vegan menu. Most places don't have a vegan menu.
True.
So you're kind of a pain in the ass to try to make all these changes, and they never get it right. So it is a hassle, and I can't wait for the day that she's not vegan. But till then, I support whatever she chooses. Blah, 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 blah. But like I said, thank you. But we talk about the staples that we know are there. But what were some of the places that you were surprised are on 4th Avenue because of this list that was posted on TucsonFoodie.com?
Have you heard of the Blind Tiger?
No, I have
Me
not.
neither.
What is the Blind Tiger? Well, first off, I pulled it up immediately. I see a picture of chicken wings. So, I'm in.
Carne asada, French fries,
Okay.
and chili burger.
Okay.
They bring food into IBTs for you.
Okay, so are
Yeah.
they like a food truck outside of IBTs then?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good though. So now it's IBTs. There's so many restaurants now bars that could now become restaurants thanks to food trucks. I know that our friends Dillinger Brewing just opened up a food truck there on their big ass patio. Which is awesome, and because they got a fantastic location on 4th Avenue as well. And I think it's Blacktop Grill that is, it's their second food truck now, and that second location is permanently at Dillinger Brewing. So with that, I'm looking at pictures. What other comfort food? Like carne asada, fries, chicken wings, and what else?
That's all I know about
Blind
it.
Tiger.
Sorry. I haven't been yet. I just saw it on this guide when we published it yesterday. I was like, what?
Yeah,
I gotta check this out.
Yeah, that's good.
Have you been to Brian's Comfort Kitchen yet?
I
Chef
have
Brian?
not.
Yeah, this guy was on MasterChef and beat Bobby Flay, and I think he actually was a private chef for Mariah Carey. But he had an Eddie Murphy, and he opened up a new spot on 4th.
Yeah, no, I saw this because this opened up next to the former location of Thunder Bacon Burger Company. It's actually sandwiched between Magpies and Thunder Bacon.
Yep.
And it
That's
looked like, honestly, my first thought was this is just a DoorDash pop-up location. That's what it looked like to me. But it has a little patio, and is there seating inside?
No, there's not.
Okay, so
They're
this
doing takeout, delivery, and they actually run catering out of there too.
Well, there you go.
So you might be kind of right.
Yeah, kind of right.
But I think there's permanent intentions here.
Yeah, I mean, they still got brick and mortar, so that's great. So what is some of the things on Chef Brian's Comfort Kitchen that caught your attention?
Brother, I just read this yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
right? These are places that I intend to check out because I haven't been yet.
He's learning
I'm
at the
learning
same
with
rate
you.
we are here.
Brother.
I got more questions. I got more. So
Let's
tell
go.
me another
Let's go
place.
together.
I'm gonna stump you again. Yeah, so we could go out and hit up everything. I did mention Dillinger Brewing Company and Blacktop Grill, which is on the list as well, and that's good.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many places that we have to go. The Drunken Chicken, no, is that place? Oh, well, no, I was thinking of a different location, but Drunken Chicken's a staple. And
Yeah, not that old.
no,
Not one of the classics. Another new one is well, actually, I don't know if this is new or not. Again, I'm just learning about this stuff, but Yaquecita, La Yaquecita, have you been there?
no, but tell me everything about it. Plus, what's their hidden menu?
All right. Well, again, this is also a food truck.
Okay.
It's parked at El Station Cafe, or a place that was El Station. Remember that spot?
Yes.
And it says here in the Tucson Foodie article, not in Shane's brain, that they have tacos, like cabeza tacos, and they got some unique items as well, but I don't know what they are yet because I haven't checked it out, but it's on my list.
Nice. Well, I mean, there's so many great restaurants. I mean, if there's one takeaway from this expansive list, which we'll continue to go over on youtube.com/beefvegan, is that there are so many great places, and it really covers like every type of food that you could wish for. And that's all on 4th Avenue. So we got to encourage people to head down to 4th Avenue more than just going down after 10 p.m. to get wasted and find a future ex-girlfriend. So yeah, there's a few more restaurants I want to mention here. We're going to do that on a stream and keep it moving. When we return, we're also going to go through some of the foods never to order on a first date. This was an expansive list that was just recently released, and I'll have Shane add to it. All that more coming up next to Beef Vegan Presents. Don't go away. Clear. All right.
Last week, I really liked that text message where you told me what we were going to talk
You're
about.
absolutely
in
right.
advance.
I thought about it.
I'd love to get that again.
I thought about it. And I swear to God, I was like, I should text him which ones I'm going to do.
And you're like, nah, it'll be more fun if I don't.
Yeah.
Here's a deep question for you, just off the cuff.
So you think you're a foodie, huh? Nope.
Yeah. No, you know what? And actually, I do enjoy your posts that you've been doing as far as the angle on your Instagram page, by the way.
I'm trying.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
hate
fun. No, it's fun. So, and we'll show that here in a second. Does the Shanty serve food? No, that's just a bar that they're showcasing. Sky Bar, Surly Wench.
So you made a point earlier with any bar can now get a restaurant, because don't bars by law have to have some kind of food that they serve? If you're serving alcohol, you have to serve food. That might be.
There's two
that might
different
be thinking of Washington State.
There's two different liquor licenses, right? There's a beer and wine liquor license. There's a full liquor. Actually, there's multiple kinds of liquor license, but there's a beer and wine liquor license. You could serve just beer and wine. Then there's the full spirit liquor license, and then there's a food liquor license where you have to sell, like, I think it's 60 to 70% food, and then you have liquor as well. Now, a lot of restaurants or a lot of bars get away with getting the food liquor license one because it's a lot cheaper than just a straight up liquor license. But then they get themselves in trouble because they don't end up selling enough food if they were just a bar only premise.
Right.
And I know this for a fact because I work for a couple places like that.
But then the thought that I was having on it was like, does that actually make it cheaper to install a kitchen? If you wanted your bar to expand and you were like, well, we can only really expand into food, is it cheaper to get a food truck to permanently make their home outside?
Yes.
And just buy the food truck, or just install the kitchen?
Cheaper, definitely, to have the food truck.
I would imagine, especially if you got somebody else to do it.
It's a separate business.
Significantly fewer health regulations and other requirements.
Yeah, and it really
That
depends.
actually makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
And it depends on the business agreement, right? So, like, say a place like Dillinger, and I don't know this, even though I know the owners, I could ask, but they could be charging Blacktop just rent to be at that location, and so they're making added money, or they can get a percentage of the food sales. That's just added on top of that, and they don't have to worry about the cost of the food or the labor.
Right.
That's all within the food truck. So I think it's a simple way to kind of just partner up and everybody make money.
Yeah, they might not even ask them for any money. Just more foot
Just
traffic.
be here, please.
Yeah, totally. Just be a gravitational source.
Yeah, like you sell the food, we'll sell the beverages, and maybe make a deal saying don't even sell sodas, and then we're good. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was the agreement with Eric and Dillinger as well.
I'll find out for you, buddy. I'll let you know.
I
do know that a single food truck doesn't really have any requirements. I mean, they also obviously have to have a cottage license and they have to meet the health requirements, but a single food truck can park anywhere as long as it's not near other food trucks and it's considered low volume.
Okay.
Doesn't even have to collect sales tax from
No
customers.
kidding.
In fact, if a food truck is parked alone somewhere and it's collecting sales tax, it's probably pocketing that sales tax.
Oh,
No
really?
kidding.
Well,
Wow.
that's going to change. I don't see that.
FYI.
Here's another thing that I saw
That's
that
real low.
doesn't make sense to me. I saw a food truck in the parking lot of a Chick-fil-A, and I think it was a chicken food truck. This is right off Oracle. You know what I mean? I don't know if you saw this, but I'm like,
taking it to them.
right. I'm like, that's extremely odd. And the fact that, like, who signed off on that? And is the Chick-fil-A's hands tied, or
There has to be something that Chick-fil-A can't do about that, because I can't imagine any fast food place being like, no, it's cool. Leave your taco truck right outside our doors. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, then with that said, Shane, I think you're onto something here, because we have kind of like a food truck gold rush happening.
We do. And it's interesting to see restaurants getting into the food truck. It's almost like reverse.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, you start a food cart or you start cooking out of your house, then a food cart and then a truck. And then one day you open your brick and mortar. But we're seeing restaurant concepts open up food trucks, either under the same brand or a different brand. As a way to sort of, I mean, it's a way faster way to expand, right?
It is.
No, for sure. I mean, there's still a lot of requirements you got to meet. I was talking to Elefante.
Yes.
And, you open that Guido food truck.
Guido barbecue. Yes.
And it did take him not the better part of a year to kind of get that approved and going, but it still would have been much more expensive and much longer and more painful to open a second restaurant.
And a brick and mortar. Yeah. I can see that. Now, I have been following Michael because I've known him for years. So I have been following along that process, and it did take a long time. But while still like owning and operating at Mama Louise's, right?
Yeah, it's a great way to test a concept too.
True.
Yeah,
and if it works, I mean, that's how
So
cereal
risky,
grillers started. They were a food truck, and now they have several different brick and mortar locations. So, and that's the way I always looked at it. But it almost seems like it is reversed now. So, brick and mortar restaurants are established, and they're like, "Well, I want to get in on this food truck game, and then go where the people are and just sell food, as opposed to have people come to you."
Yeah,
but
build an audience. Yeah,
it is problematic though. I do see like if they're not paying their sales tax, and there's any kind of situations that might be iffy to where the state doesn't get a piece of their pie, then we might be in store for some heavy regulations here in the near future. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to change. There's going to be some changes, but I don't know. I think the single food truck parking alone is considered low volume, and they're not required to collect sales tax.
So yeah, and well, that's crazy, especially in a town like Tucson, because we have so many corners that just have like a taco stand, and which I love. You don't see that in our neighbors from the north. This is it has a very Mexico vibe, where you're just like, okay. In fact, actually, on my way home on Grant, you guys probably seen this. There's several different food trucks and a dirt lot.
Oh yeah.
That is like the hippest place to go to for lunch. It's always busy. They only accept cash. I mean, it's so strange. And it's seafood. I mean, it's so fucking odd.
Right.
You're talking, and then like
beef's losing it.
Yeah, right.
well, because
seafood
look,
in the desert
I've eaten there. I have eaten there
on a truck.
Look, I've eaten there, but it takes a brave person to look at the side of the road, see a bunch of just pop-up food trucks and picnic tables serving shrimp and shit on a summer afternoon.
The group of trucks, I think, makes it safer. I think when they're in a group, you're like, okay, that's gotta give a little more help to it. You have the one solo one, that's the one that makes me nervous.
Like the crazy guy dancing in a field alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're like, is he insane?
Like,
or
is
genius?
that your lot? Did you just pull in there and put up a sign? What are you doing here? Is this all? How much of this is legal? Apparently, you're doing sales tax things.
Yes. Hey, well, let me ask you this, Shane. Do you have a particular favorite food truck in town that you've been to that has like a steady location, not one that goes to different events and whatnot?
520 Taco Stop.
520 Taco Stop, and where's that located?
It's way out east, kind of northeast-ish. It's so far out there, I barely go, but they have the best burrito in Tucson, period. And I'll like challenge you that that's the case.
What's in the burrito? Is it a bacon wrapped? Because I mean, that was put on the map here as well. But
no, it's not bacon wrapped.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to describe it. I mean, it's just Mexican burrito. They have several options.
Mhm.
They got a killer vegan burrito, which is the one I choose because I'm proudly vegan, like your daughter, who you need to accept and love for who she
I
is.
accept and love her, dude.
vegan burrito with the carne asada fries.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, can you throw a little meat? Can you bacon wrap my vegan burrito, please?
Well,
Deep fry it. That'd be great.
I do that. I've done that all the time for years, and not even part of a gimmick, but I've definitely done the like veggie patty with like top with bacon, black bean patty top with bacon. It always blows the servers' minds. They're just like, what? Like, no, you can have both.
Yeah, why would you have the black bean patty when you could just have the meat?
Right.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Right, but no, this black bean patty is pretty good too, and
Sometimes.
sometimes if
Usually
it's
not.
homemade.
Sure. Things not to get on first dates. That black bean patty, you're gonna be farting the rest of the night.
You got to go to 520 Taco Stop.
520 Taco Stop on the east side. Okay, I'll shout that out. But do they have rice and beans in there? And do they throw in some white queso? What makes these burritos
not
so
like
good?
this. Well, they're huge. That's
Okay.
one thing.
That's good.
Filiberto's huge. Like that's the baseline. So what
Bigger
are we
than
talking in
Filiberto.
relation here?
Filiberto's actually shrank their burritos, so I'm guessing it's bigger than Filiberto's.
I don't know the Filiberto's one. I'm sorry. Is that a chain?
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
go
just
the
trying to give
chains.
us all a baseline to work off of there.
I
But
see. It's enormous. My
Mhm.
girlfriend can't finish it. I eat mine.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's amazing. I don't know what they do. It almost, when you first look at it, you're like, okay, they didn't cook it all the way because like the cheese isn't melted.
Right.
And you're like, this is going to be not great, but it's the best. Just go and try it out. I can't
Okay.
describe it. There's nothing super unique about the ingredients or anything. They just have, I don't know. Maybe
they're just
it's
doing
the-
it right.
Maybe it's the sauce. Yeah, they kill it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
520 Taco Stop.
520 Taco Stop on the east side.
Keep trying to get them to try different locations, but they're doing so well in that parking spot at that gross gas station in the middle of nowhere that they just never leave there.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
You know, I'm looking at this burrito that on the 4th Avenue list, and this is Martin's Comida Chingona. And I like this burrito right now because I'm seeing the melted cheese, the white cheese, the Spanish rice, and then this is the mole burrito. So, have you been here? And where is this exactly located at? Because I don't think I've ever
So
seen
this other new spot that you just found out from this list, have you been there?
This one people talk about, so I don't know how new it is, but yeah, they opened in 2001, man.
Okay, yeah, no,
kind of a
that's
staple
fine.
at this
Yeah,
point.
I see it right there.
I have not been.
Oh yeah, well that's another place we gotta hit up.
We put out an article called like the bucket list. Did you
Mhm.
see that? We dropped it like January 2nd.
No, but I'll
You
look
should
it
check
up.
that out.
Okay.
The entire Tucson Foodie team is like 25 people now. We all got together and said, what are the things we haven't tried that we feel bad we haven't tried because it's good? We know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's a huge list. This is on my list.
Now I don't know if Magpies is still open, but right off the bat, I haven't been a fan of this style pizza, and I don't like the crust ratio here. So I wish them all the best. So that's I'm positive there, but I'm definitely not putting them on the
They're
list.
still open. I like Magpies.
Are they? I mean, the
Yeah.
location's good, but you know, I mean, look, I like them too if they don't like. I mean, seriously, look at how much crust is here. Well, I know Tucson Foodie doesn't like to bag on restaurants, and that's good. So
We
I
celebrate-
agree. That does look like
you're
a lot
supporting
of
local.
crust.
You're supporting local. I'm just not putting them on my best of list.
Well, I'm not just supporting them because they're local. I like a lot of crust on my pizza.
Do you really?
So, oh yeah,
Oh, because you're vegan. You're not even eating the cheese.
give me some pizza. Yeah, can I get a little sauce on my bread, please?
Got 'em.
Exactly.
Have you? And don't forget, I'm vegan. But have you tried the chicken primavera pizza at Magpies? It's super good.
It's okay.
I highly recommend that if you're vegan.
Well, if I go there again, which I'm sure I will, I will check out the chicken primavera pizza.
See, that's the problem
Sure.
with the vegan right there. You should really try that if you're vegan. You should go try this one if you're vegan. If the vegan food is good, you should just go try it regardless of what your position is.
I agree with
Yeah.
you. 100%.
No,
You
and-
nailed that. Yes.
Yes,
I'm
the
sorry.
4th Avenue delicatessen food. I've ordered the vegan stuff from there. It is fantastic. And there's a vegan restaurant next to was it Sauce on Campbell? That's really good as well. So I mean, I'll eat vegan food all day long for sure at vegan restaurants or places that serve it correctly. So I'm not opposed to that. But I'll tell you what, to have a vegan in the family is very difficult when you're planning family
Mhm.
meals. And then the most frustrating thing always, and it's not sometimes, it's every single time we go out to eat, is getting her a food that is vegan acceptable. And she's super strict on it for no
Sure.
reason. Here's an example. I go to Chiba Hut, right?
Mm.
I've told this story on the stream before, but I want to share you with my frustration. She gets this the grifo, which is a veggie sandwich, right? It had some specks of Parmesan on it, and she served it back. Now at this point in time, she was only vegan for a couple weeks. I'm like, you still have cheese in your blood, you know? Like, what do you? This is the and nobody's keeping tabs. Like, I won't tell anyone if you don't. Just eat the fucking sandwich.
Why is she vegan?
She did it for she's trying to lose weight. She's a girl, you know.
Okay, so nutrition. So
Yeah,
that makes sense.
nutrition.
Then. She's trying to avoid the dairy.
Yeah, but I'm like, there's barely any dairy there. I don't even know if it's real Parmesan. Let's be real. So, but either way, she had to return it, and it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I've never done. I'm not one of those. I'm not like her. She sounds terrible.
She's a terrible person. Takes after her mom. I'll tell you that much. No. I love her though. So, all right, here we go. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back. Judas Priest on the podcast broadcast, hanging out with Shane for TucsonFoodie.com and, of course, Todd Marlie. All right, so we're going through all the different lists that Tucson Foodie is providing. I have a list for you, Shane, and I know that you can add to it because, you know, you've had different types of foods, all different types of foods from all different areas of this country. You're a well-traveled man. What's a good food never to order on a first date, though? Because, you know, obviously there's various factors, and that's the mess, all right, or the potential outcome, because there are some foods where you're just like, uh-oh, I know later on tonight, you know, the way my body reacts to this food. So what would you add or make sure you put on a list of foods to never order on a first date?
Nico's. How about this? Never take your lady to a churrascaria.
What is that?
That's like a Brazilian meat shop, you know, where they walk around.
Oh,
with
the
sticks of
swords? Or
meat.
they? I don't know.
That was
That's a
featured-
swanky first date.
That was featured in Bridesmaids. That was the place that they went in Bridesmaids, and it made everybody sick their stomach to where they crap themselves while putting on dresses, right?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Well,
if that's
yes,
where they
I'm
went,
going
but
to tell you
that
yes.
sounds right, but that's not the reason I was going to suggest that. It's just because it's so heavy. You get the meat sweats, you get the meat stuck in your teeth. Last time I went through churrascaria, they had floss dispensers in the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
Dudes were in there flossing meat. It was flying up on the mirror. It's not a place for a first date.
All right. So now initially when I thought of this and meat on a stick, I don't know why I thought like the gyro or rotisserie style that we see with carnitas
Technically true.
and gyros. But this seems like it's a meat that's more kind of rough that's going to stick in between your teeth. So how do they prepare this?
Well, I mean, if you haven't been, you got to go. I think there's one in town.
Yeah, you gotta go.
You got to
Oh,
experience
it's so
it.
good.
Is it good?
They walk around with multiple types of meat on sticks, and they bring it to your table.
That might be the actual reason you wouldn't want to do that on a first date, because it's the kind of place where you literally have a different server coming up every minute and a half trying to pitch you new things. You don't get time to have that one-on-one you want in a
That's a
date.
good point.
So
It
what
is
is
chaos?
Oh, yeah. What is the basic setup? Because it sounds like people are just shoving food in your face. Do they charge you per thing? You say, yes, I'll try that. Like almost
Per
like
plate.
a sushi kind of conveyor belt or
Yeah, it's more like that. Yeah, they take note of everything you say yes to.
okay.
But
So
I
it's
have
not
been-
like all you can eat buffet where you just have one flat
I've
rate.
been
And
to
they
one
just,
of those too.
So yeah, the ones
Okay.
I've been to
They're
are all
different.
flat. You paid for the plate and
Okay.
that was it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess I don't know. It depends.
okay. Well, that actually does sound interesting. So there's one of those in town.
Yeah, I recently learned about it, but I can't tell you about it. I have to look it up.
All right, I'll
And
Google
it's
it.
okay because you don't want to go there for a first date anyway.
All right. Well, Todd, what would you add
And
to
all you
this
do is
list?
go on first dates, isn't that right?
Yeah. There's never a second, so it doesn't matter what we order. No, but what would you add to this list of foods that you would never order on
You
a
got to be
first date?
careful. Depending on how you want to go in the night, just be careful of what you order. Don't go anything too strong in any one flavor. I'm thinking about
Yeah.
like your fish flavors, your garlic
Garlic.
flavors,
Uh-huh.
your Caesar flavors, those anchovy things strong in anchovy,
Yeah.
things like that. Think about your breath.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And just messy food.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite dishes in town is the Shenyang splashing noodles at Fat Man,
Okay.
but they're called the splashing noodles for a reason.
Oh,
you know?
really? Do you have to wear a bib to eat those
You
splashing noodles?
should.
Yeah.
I always ruin my shirt.
You never wear a white shirt while eating the splashing noodles.
I've made that mistake.
Ah, nice.
It'd be a great place to take a first date, though. Just don't order that.
Just don't order their signature dish.
Or maybe if you want
Right.
to find out if she's
That's
fun. If you want to find out if she's a little like, okay, you're a little goofy,
Well,
you're not
that's a
afraid of
good
making a
point.
mess.
I mean, have you seen Coneheads?
Yeah.
Remember when Chris Farley takes the alien daughter on a date and they go get a sub sandwich? And she
Yes.
just goes, "Gah, gah, gah, gah," and he's like, You are one woman.
Yeah, found my soulmate.
It was a test.
Any date, anything could work. All of these rules could go right out the window, depending on what you're looking for in your date.
I don't know. I'm sure I could throw a couple curveballs, make you disagree with that theory
Almost
on
certainly.
the podcast broadcast stream, youtube.com/BeFegan. More BeFegan Presents on the way. Music as well from KG Elephant and Bush. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear. All right, excellent. So a couple of the usual suspects, buffalo wings, obviously is on the list.
I actually made that mistake once, not on a first date, but like on third date, I got a big buffalo sandwich and which just wasn't thinking about it. And yeah, the end of that night did not go how I would have liked it to.
Yeah, I think buffalo wings definitely is a no-go for a third date because third date's universal, like go all the way date, right? You want to keep your fingers clean, you know. It's true. It's true.
Content for the podcast.
Exactly. All right. Courtney has a question here.
Yeah, I'm just in this. I'm
right,
trying to read it. Let me read this out here.
You want to read it?
I'll do it.
Go for it.
My DM doesn't do time passing or adventuring day mechanic. If things take time, they just happen. We have 8 to 14 players as a player, or as a player, should I or can I give him advice? Honestly, probably not. A DM like that is going to have his own way of doing things. And if you're looking for downtime and for things to do in the downtime, yes, you should ask your DM about that. Do we have downtime? Are we playing with downtime? Or is everything just happening in real time? It is like, yeah, ask your DM about it. It's all you can really do is just talk to your DM. Something's not working for you and you're wondering where this mechanic is. The DM is the only person that could answer that question. Also, brave effing DM. 8 to 14 players. I would never do that.
All right. Yeah. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, Shane?
Nope.
That's what he's talking about, man.
But I respect it.
Yeah, RPGs are like the games lately, and we've been discovering more and more. Todd is actually a dungeon master.
Nice.
So next time we do an RPG game, sometimes we do live streams. I'll send you an invite if you're brave enough to try it out. You
I'd love to. I'm
dip
down.
into the world of imagination there.
I got into the world of magic recently.
Oh yeah, like
like magic tricks or Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering.
Oh, okay. So you've been collecting?
Now I've been collecting. I've been playing the online version.
You've been having fun with it?
Arena. Much cheaper.
Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm doing it to learn before I start collecting. I don't know if I ever will collect, but my best friend is super into it. And he's like a judge at the, not just the local level, but he's, he kind of goes around.
It's a referee for laymen.
Big deal. He's got a card grading company.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's a big deal.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it is weird and very impressive, just kind of the entire scene around Magic, I mean, from collecting to the leagues, the players.
Premium cardboard.
Yeah. And our friends like at Tucson Games and Gadgets, the way they do it, I mean, they're staying in business and rocking and rolling just based off all these lifestyles and these people, enthusiasts that come out to either just buy stuff or just hang out there and play. It is a trip. And the few RPGs that I've done with him, I've had a blast on, and I've done okay. And I wouldn't call myself a natural, but I think I could hold it down a little bit. No, okay. Well,
I'm sure that's true, Beef.
It's always true. It's imagination. Whatever you believe is true.
Yes, and I always bring my imagination. In fact, actually, I'm always thinking about these things. Earlier this morning, I talked about a story and an observation that I realized over the weekend that came to light when my girlfriend asked me this question, and I'm gonna play the clip for you now. Check this out. Rock 102.1 KFMA, it's BeFegan Presents, hanging out here with my buddy Todd Marlie. Last night I was hanging out with my girlfriend on the couch, right? And we're just recapping stuff. And she's like, did you hear about that mass shooting in California?
Which one?
Well, she was talking about the one where 10 people got shot and killed, right?
Oh, which one where 10 people got?
Oh, don't get things confused, okay? So, yeah, the other one was 7. Keep your numbers straight.
Oh,
either way, it's terrible. And she's like, wasn't that horrible? Oh my God, I can't believe that. And I was like, yeah, it was actually an older Asian man. And she's like, it was? Oh, thank God. And for a second, and then she stopped and she felt bad that she said that because initially she thought it was a hate crime because all the victims were of Asian descent. It was in the Asian community, right? And the second shooting that Todd was referring to was also, within the community and not necessarily a hate crime, a heinous crime. And any kind of murder crime is definitely a hate crime, but not a race motivated crime. And, as much as my girlfriend instantly regretted, feeling relief that it essentially wasn't one of us. That's how the media reacts to these things as well. I don't know if you noticed, but when this shooting broke out over the weekend, initially reports are coming in and multiple people shot. And a lot of people were like, uh-oh, buckle up. Here we go again. And then all of a sudden, after like a couple hours, I started seeing headlines pop up saying, not a hate crime. Like they were celebrating the fact that it wasn't just a deranged 20-something-year-old white dude. Right? And that's where we're at as society. It's crazy.
That's the knee-jerk reaction right now. What is it? How bad is this? How bad is it really?
Right.
And we're just all like, whoa, great. Yeah, they didn't do it out of just racial hate, and we're all relieved.
Yes.
Still killed 10 people.
Exactly. Right. But that's where most of us as a society are, and the media is for sure, in the way that they present this information, because initially they know what everyone's thinking when they read the initial headline that multiple people are shot. We've been down this road before, so it's almost shocking when it isn't the typical mass shooting type scenario. So, which is absurd. And then the craziest part about it was trying to go into this story and writing up what happened last night. And I had to reassure my girlfriend it's okay to feel that way, and I get it. I think a lot of people subconsciously or consciously, thought this reaction, didn't say it out loud. But unfortunately, then there was another situation that was very similar to the first. And you're like, what is going on right now amongst the communities? These elderly Asian guys are just snapping and taking out their friends and relatives. So obviously there's a lot more to the story than I'm going to get into, but that was essentially the knee-jerk reaction that both my girlfriend and the media had when the news first broke out. And it's insane. That's the kind of world we live in. But at the same time, it's really, it's a whole group. It's the entire society being like, okay, good. All right. I don't have to feel any more guilt. That's on them. Right. And it's like, ugh. All right, I was still talking about my alcohol mall theory and filling Shane in with the law. Well, because the alcohol mall that I want is Foothills Mall, but I was talking about the law again that was passed at the end of 2022, going into this year, that you could carry open beverages at establishments that are like outdoor malls, like La Cantera. I keep saying Cantera, is that right? Anyways. Cantata, yeah, La Cantata. You can tell I don't shop there too much. I shop at Ross. So, but there are places up in Phoenix that are taking advantage of this right off the bat, like Desert Ridge Marketplace being one of them, which is essentially just a large outdoor mall entertainment complex. And then people are going to be able to drink open beverages there, beers, cocktails, and walk around while they window shop. And that's going to be completely legal in Arizona. So yeah, definitely places down here need to take advantage of that. But then I also talked about on the stream what I've been wanting here for a couple of years with that Foothills Mall that has died. And it's just, I mean, it looks like Zombieland in there. It's just a Ross and a movie theater, and everything else, things of mall past. Here's a terrible story talking about food. When the food court was still open, there was only like 3 things left. One of them was a pretzel stand, right? So one day I take my daughter there. We're going to go see a movie, and I love me some pretzels. I don't know if you can tell by my body type, but I'm all about the
Never would have guessed.
Right. So I get some pretzels and I do that, and I sneak them into the movie theater, or just bring them in, I eat them, and I got a little sick from them, to be honest with you. I didn't feel great about it. I wasn't deathly, but I was like, these pretzels just sat with me the wrong way. No less than 48 hours later, legitimately, the place went viral because an employee shot video of what it looked like inside that, like right behind the doors and the storage, and it was all black mold and just disgusting. Disgusting. It looked worse than a sewer. And then they shut that place down. Now there's like nothing in the food court anymore, and you wouldn't want to go eat there at the food court, but they need, of course, to revamp the whole thing, gut it, and then turn all those empty storefronts into bar restaurants. the entire complex. Just be different bars and restaurants, right? And then you could open carry in between. Now, yeah, it could turn into a shit show with not that much security, but if you stock up on security and everything, it could be the destination for the entire north side to go to the alcohol mall, and talk about dates and everything. You just Uber there and you hang out there a couple hours and then Uber home. And that's the concept that I want to see happen inside that mall. But
a lot of people you got to get to sign on to that concept.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, if they're flexible, friend.
I think it's cool. I think we do this grassroots. We start throwing like food truck rallies in the parking lot. And if we do it like once a week, and eventually perhaps somebody will start serving alcohol inside the mall, or maybe we find a way to do that and just start getting people there, regularly.
I like that idea. In fact, actually, since they still have them all open, we could literally set up in the parking lot. And when they get their food, we just tell them to go eat inside. They got plenty of room inside. And you start getting people hanging out inside the mall again with the food that they got from outside the mall.
And then you and I open up a beer store in there, make all the money, and eventually people start locating around us.
Done.
And then we leave.
And then we
sell out. You're done.
And we're done.
Yeah. Drop the mic, head off into the sunset. You're welcome, Tucson.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's do it. There's so much you could do at that point.
I love how you're an idea man like myself. I'm glad that we're on the same page there. So let me show you something real quick. This is funny. It went viral. There's a page that I follow on Twitter. So here's your beef free tweet for the day. Now, this is an 80s training video of how to serve prime rib at a buffet. You're gonna fucking love this because these are the questions they were telling their employees to ask. Check this out. I want to know this.
Yeah. Go.
Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
Give me that.
Did you catch a game last night? Is it still hot out there?
You like the
Do
music?
you like hot fudge sundaes? All right.
That guy eats a lot of the prime rib.
Have you tried the
You're
lasagna?
like hot fudge Sundays.
It's my favorite.
The customer's not saying shit. At the end, just all right, okay.
Do you like movies about gladiators?
Yeah.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
All right, Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're just looking at Beast retweets. I'm going to play this again on the air real quick because the audio is too funny because you got to hear the music in the background. But essentially, there's a totally 80s Twitter page that loves finding these 80s style training videos that a lot of chain restaurants would, make employees watch when they got hired. I think we've all been there too. The whole little video training. This is an unknown all-you-can-eat buffet, but this is an example of what the person serving prime rib should do, trying to make small talk with the customer. And you should note the customer's lack of enthusiasm throughout the entire example. Check this out.
Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
Give me that.
Give me that.
Did you catch a game last night? Is it still hot out there?
Prime rib buffet.
Do you like
is
hot
never
fudge
good.
sundaes? All right.
All right.
All right. There you go. At the meat.
And that meat looks terrible too. I mean, it looks like they didn't learn how to cook prime rib until at least the late 1990s because they definitely didn't have it down in the 80s because that looks
Overcooked.
way overcooked. Like garbage. All right, keeping the conversation moving, the podcast broadcast. Your beef tip is coming up after these words. Keep it right here. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear.
Here's your beef tip. Don't overcook your prime rib.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to have a bad first date, you see?
Mm-hmm. Soon I'm going to have, we're going to get into the kitchens here soon too, with some of these places. So we'll plan on, here's the deal. So this studio that as you right now, or as you see it right now, might not be. Looks like Scott the engineer is going to revamp the studio this weekend. I got the mass email confirming it. It was going to be a surprise last weekend, but he got sick. But now the intention is this weekend, they're going to take everything out, going to revamp it. So that means I don't know if we're going to have podcasts next week. And we're just going to wait and see if they get everything set. But I'm going to need a good day or so to make sure we got everything in place and everything's working.
It's a lot of buttons.
Yes. And then we're going to pimp it out.
Okay.
And then when we pimp it out, on Tuesdays when you come in, I'm gonna start inviting chefs as well to be able to pop in on the stream on location, show us the kitchen, and make a dish for us.
Oh, I love it. Can I
Yeah.
send like one of my team members out there be with the chef?
100%.
Awesome.
100%.
Foodie on the scene.
Yes.
I love it. I'm not going to want to be in here with you anymore.
Oh, come on. No, we
Right?
still have a good time. I mean, yeah, maybe I just like blindside you with you have to deliver 6 minutes of content real quick. But besides that, I'll give you a heads up next time. Come on. I like hanging out with you.
Yeah, but now you're offering actual kitchen access.
I'm just kidding. This is one of the most fun hours of my week.
Well, good. Yeah. Well, it's only the beginning. You know, we're going to have a great year and we're planning on it.
It's
So,
gonna be a good year.
yeah. And like I said, I was telling Shane off the air, I started outlining the live podcast that we're planning on doing for the pub crawl. Tickets on sale for that now, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How's it going? You still have tickets available?
There's still some available, but they're burning through pretty quick. So
Yeah.
go grab one.
Break down this pub crawl again, real quick, because I'm telling all you streamers out there, I'd love to see you guys join us, because we'll have a great time first and foremost. It goes 2 to 5 on Saturday, February 25th. But yeah, we're gonna be doing live games and segments, doing a podcast at what's the location again? Borderlands.
Yeah, you're gonna be at Borderlands.
Yeah,
Tool.
which is the new location, big ass Borderlands, and they're set up there. I'm gonna pull up that, but tell me more about this pub crawl and how they can get their tickets.
Okay. Well, you grab tickets at TucsonCraftBeerCrawl.com. But yeah, it's a beer crawl. There are, I think, 8 spots along the crawl. At each spot, we'll pull 2 ounce, 4 ounces, and like 25. I don't recommend doing them all.
Go.
And check in at lands where you're going to be, or you can check in at Tap and Bottle. We're shutting down the streets of both locations, turning into a big beer garden. There's going to be, music, DJs, lots of beer pouring at those 2 spots, and then you can head out and you can go over to Crooked Tooth, Hotel Pueblo Vita, or Hotel Congress, Pueblo Vita, Our Bar, Royal Room, Thunder Canyon. They're all going to be spots. Thunder Canyon's doing a little hip hop show. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yes, Thunder Canyon usually does do their hip hop shows, and they have a good lineup. So I wonder who's on there. Maybe our friend Ray L's going to be on there. Okay, is this the new location, Borderlands? Here, the gas station turned into patio.
That is their new spot. That's not the one on the crawl.
Oh,
that's the one over on like 5th/6th over by Tumarico.
okay.
And yeah,
That's what I was wondering, because I was like, okay, that's a little smaller than what you said, but that's cool. Let's see.
and it's just not walkable. Everything, the entire crawl is downtown. It's walkable. You can walk to all the
This will be
locations.
crawlable. That's
Right.
the
Crawlable.
title.
Exactly.
All right, I'll find it here.
But there's like 5 different breweries pouring. Not just local, but from across the state. We even got Bukibichi, Mexican beer.
Nice.
Hermosillo pouring.
Yeah, and I saw this too. I think you talked about this last week, but Chef Maria from what's the taco spot? Well, obviously
Boca.
Iron Chef, but Boca Tacos is collaborating, and she provided the menu for the Borderlands Brewing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't been
Yeah.
over. They actually, I think they did like they're open now.
Yeah.
They did like a non-official open with. They're doing an official opening, and we're actually doing a little ribbon cutting thing for them. But yeah,
That's a big
it's a
deal.
pretty cool concept. I love that little area, 5th Avenue with Tumarico and Flora Market, and what else is over there? That Chinese that tea shop, 7 Cups, right?
Okay.
They're over
Yeah.
there. But yeah, this is a great addition to that spot. So yeah, it's good beer from Borderlands and good food from Maria at Boca.
Yeah, I love seeing collaborations like this
Me
too.
too. That's cool.
And she is phenomenal. She really is. She's super kind, but she's been kicking ass whenever she does the Top Chefs or Iron Chef competitions on TV. And of course, Boca always switching up their salsas. Some of the best salsas I've ever had. Boca Tacos.
In some ways, she's very Tucson, but also her personality, I think, is bigger than Tucson.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
she's a superstar for sure. So getting her on the menu at any location is a big win for Borderlands. So welcome back to the show. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Hanging out here with Todd Marlie and Shane from TucsonFoodie.com. About to wrap things up, but we're talking about the beer crawl that they're going to be hosting on February 25th. And we're going to be out there doing a live podcast recording, playing games with our, with everybody out there, and also featuring some of these beers so we get to know them as we're doing tastings, because there's going to be a lot of beer being poured in multiple locations. And I'm just looking at the new Borderlands location here on the podcast broadcast stream to get a better idea of their big ass patio. Is this it that I'm seeing? No, you don't know? You see it?
Oh, on the live stream? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Nice. Oh, so that's big. And they already have a stage? Done, son.
That's the one downtown, not the new Borderlands spot over on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
How many locations Borderlands Brewing have now? Because their new location, they got Chef Maria from Boca Tacos providing the menu. And so, yeah, how many locations they have? Do you know?
I think it's just the two, my man.
Okay. I'm irritating
it's
Shane
just the
today.
two.
I keep asking him questions.
You know, I think it's fun. You give me food questions I should know on the air when I fall down. You just kick me.
You better do your
It's
homework
fine.
next time, Shane. I'm coming at you. These hard-hitting questions. In case
like
you
it.
didn't know, I'm an investigative journalist. That's one of the hats that I wear.
I see.
I do appreciate you coming in, and I do hope that you come in again. So
I will. I love this hour of my life.
Good.
Once a week.
all right. Well, don't forget, you can always check out the podcast broadcast on demand, youtube.com/beefvegan. There you can subscribe. Robin Nash is up next. Tomorrow morning around 7:10, we'll give you another opportunity to win tickets for Beck. We also have tickets to give away for Giovanni and the Hired Guns and your Tucson Roadrunners. So join us tomorrow morning as well. But till then, that's all the time we have for today. I'd like to thank everybody for listening. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you
Is that the location there?
on a side of beef,
What about that, Shane? Where's that? Where did they put that? That shelf on the shelf, Shane.
Where's all the beer, Shane?
Answer these questions, Shane.
Shane, where's
I
the
will
beer?
knock out all your teeth.
Thanks for listening, guys.